being extraordinary at the ordinary things. Exercising once a week, planning my week, meal prepping, talking to my people, all of this, it's not sexy, but it makes me feel at peace. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel like I can achieve the things that I want to achieve in this life.
We are GOLDIVY.
Our mission is to empower you to own and unleash your truth.
Stories of resiliency are gold, and ivy grows in hard places.
Those hard places are what create space for light to shine through.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a GOLDIVY production.
If you struggle with digestion, energy, bloat, acne, mood, fatigue, listen up. I spent 4 years, 50 plus doctors, and tens of thousands of dollars to heal my gut so you don't have to. I've created the what to do guide I wish I had before spending years navigating the overwhelming amount of information and conflicting doctors' opinions out in the gut health world. My help, I can't figure out what's wrong with me, the How to Heal Your Gut Starter Kit is now available, and the response to it online has been incredible. On top of what I wish I would have known, I also wish this information would have been easily accessible for me. Because of that, it's available to you on the shop page of our website for only $9.99. Included in my guide is what helped me and countless others heal their gut, along with chronic fatigue, acne, hormone imbalances, and so much more. You'll learn what foods to stay away from, what foods to eat, a 4-week gut healing eating plan, lifestyle tools to aid your healing process, and 2 of my go-to favorite recipes. So head over to our shop page on our website, goldivyhealthco.com, and remember, happy gut, happy life. You can heal. Let me help you.
One of our most popular episodes was with Jessie Golden, the creator of our new favorite and life-changing skincare line, The Golden Secrets.
You've probably seen us post about it because we take it everywhere with us, but we wanted to fill you in on exactly what we're using and the results we're seeing with this sustainable, fair trade, and cruelty-free skincare and wellness line.
Jessie mentioned that the one thing she'd take to a deserted island is her Heal oil. So with her incredible looking skin, I jumped in and bought it right away. I'm using the Heal oil as a moisturizer at the end of my skincare routine, or if I'm in a rush and only use one product after cleansing, it's the Heal oil. I also use it right before my new gua sha routine. The Golden Secrets has a gua sha tool called the Sorceress Stone Gua Sha Beauty Tool. It's an ancient holistic facial massage tool that enhances your skincare routine by increasing blood flow, circulation, and nutrients to brighten the complexion and tone, and it lifts the facial muscles naturally. Jessie says, this is the one beauty tool, hands down, that has made the greatest impact on my skin. It has helped retrain the way the patterns of my face, muscles, and skin function. I'm already seeing more definition in my jawline and cheekbones, which is so exciting. Jessie provides tutorials on exactly how to use all of her tools and products. So as a person who's notorious for knowing nothing about skincare, The Golden Secrets has been my favorite discovery.
And for me, I've spent years getting back my health. And because of that, I take what I put in and on my body very serious. I can say without a doubt that the Golden Secrets is the only skincare products I will use in the future. I swear by the Heal oil, the Youth Beauty Face Oil, coconut lip balm, and will soon have every product on my bathroom sink.
The Golden Secrets is rooted in nature, ancient wisdom, and organic beauty. Jessie Golden thrives on making skincare and wellness products that benefit everybody.
We're thrilled that we have a discount code you can use to save money when you shop The Golden Secrets. Use code GOLDIVY for 10% off today, and keep watching us at GOLDIVY Health Co. on all social channels as we continue to share our amazing results with the Golden Secrets skincare line.
You can find the link and code in the show notes of this episode.
And now to today's episode of the Ivy Unleashed podcast. Welcome back to the Ivy Unleashed podcast. Today, we're going to get you amped. We are talking all about motivation because if you're listening to this when it airs, we have a new season upon us. Fall is coming. Kids are back to school. And so it's a great opportunity to realign, get in a new routine, get the fire lit within us.
I mean, that's like the number one thing people want. How do you stay motivated? How do you get motivated? Oh, I just can't get motivated. I feel like if I got $1 for every time I heard that word,
I'd be motivated.
It's important. That's why we're talking about it. I mean, you've got to figure out how to light your fire, like how to get some fire under your ass, however you want to think about it. I was thinking about the other day, I'm like taking the slingshot back and like hitting yourself in your future self's ass. How do you want to get that momentum going? And people are different, but there are some common things that like work for me, work for you, that tend to work for other people. And so as always, we like to give you tips and ideas because maybe one day one of these works for you. Maybe tomorrow a different one will work for you. And you can always come back to this episode if you feel like you need some more motivation. I need to listen to that one again. Last time that worked, it got me excited.
Yeah. So. We're going to give you some specific practices that we've adopted that we use. So get out a pen and paper or the notes app on your phone, or just revisit this if you're driving. Do not write it down yet. Andrew and I are obsessed with studying successful people. And so some of the tools I'm going to get into are ones that I've adopted over the years that really help when the motivation is low. So we're going to give you our top 5.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of motivation, I think of energy. And for me, with my health journey, the past 6 years going on now, energy is something I've struggled with, chronic fatigue. And so I take this very seriously. And I feel like this is my jam of what I have used to continue to perform at the level that I hold myself and the standard that I hold myself to. So my first one is around structure. Structure is everything for me. So this is my routine. This is scheduling in what I want to do so that I know exactly what's coming up next. So this looks like Sunday, planning out my week, planning in my workouts, planning in my morning routine. And now I have adopted the same morning routine, so I don't have to think about it. And that's the beauty of a habit. And then within that is rewarding myself. So I wake up, the same routine each morning. And this morning routine allows me to feel on fire throughout the day because I've poured into myself before I'm giving all day. It's giving me energy because in that morning routine is my meditation, my journaling. So let me just backtrack. What I do, I wake up, I meditate. After I meditate, I do my gratitude journaling. And then I do just a free journal, conscious thought journal, which really makes a difference. Can't recommend it enough. Once I do that, I make my pre-workout, which is like a little treat of doing this deep healing work, this deep work, my pre-workout, and then I go work out. If I really need the motivation, I schedule a workout class because I feel like that just gets me in the mood. But getting a workout in, the best way to get energy is to radically shift your body. And so working out is everything. And that is...
How'd you get yourself to work out though when you don't feel like working out?
Because I've built up to this.
Mm-hmm.
So when I have this routine, I know what comes next. I don't have to think about it. And that self-talk of don't think, just do. Like what's the next thing? Because by this time that I'm working out, I have the momentum. Like some people, I know you like to just go downstairs first thing in the morning, bright ass lights and work out. And I'm like, no, I need to build up. I need to wake up because thinking about working out when I'm dead asleep is too much.
Yeah, people are different, right? Mm-hmm. Like some people, if you think about it too much, you can come up with a million things that you should do instead because your house is dirty or your kid needs this, or then all of a sudden someone's up and you've got an excuse not to do it.
But for me, it's not a million things. It's my morning routine that I stick to. So I don't have to think about it. I wake up, I know exactly what's coming next, and cleaning my kitchen is not on that list first thing when I wake up. Mm-hmm. It's all about me pouring into me, having energy. And yes, I don't have kids yet, so I do have that on my side, but you also wake up before your kids, and that's a huge thing. So what I'm trying to say, for me, it's structure. It's planning in the things that I know give me energy.
Love that. Yeah, momentum is huge. Building up to something or feeling clear-headed enough to know what you need. And then like with structure too, like if you're planning what you're going to do and you know that's what you want because you've established it, you've written it down, you've journaled about it, you're more likely to follow through with it. So that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. And motivation, just to kind of debunk motivation, it comes after the action. Like if you wait until you're motivated, you're going to be waiting forever. So really in this episode, what we're talking about is how to get you momentum.
Yeah, because like think how many days you wake up and you are not motivated.
No.
Like some days you're like all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I'm going to conquer the world. But like, how many days a week do you actually feel that way? You know?
And I had someone tell me it's an emotion. You're not always going to be happy. You're not always going to be sad. You're not always going to be motivated. So to wait until you're motivated is setting you up for failure. And so rely on these little things that you can implement to give you the momentum, okay, I got this, one step at a time.
I think too, it feels heavy to rely on yourself to figure out this motivation. Like you don't have to. For me, my number one thing is music. Sometimes you need that beat, that song, that lyric, that person, you know, like for me, it's Beyonce. Like when she is vibing and confident and moving her body and singing with the passion that she has, I get something from that. It's like, I don't have to rely on me to come up with that kind of energy that can get me moving. I know that's the first thing I'm going to hit on my playlist when I walk out the door. And I know she'll carry me through that first mile because the first mile always sucks. Like it just does. Or the start of a workout routine, you're just getting into it and you're like, oh, I feel out of shape or, you know, whatever. But like let Beyonce carry you.
Yes. Music. It's energy. It's contagious. I like music. I also like being yelled at. And that's where listening to Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, comes into play. Like if I'm driving to the gym, if I'm driving home and I'm about to like get in the zone to shower and then get ready, that can feel like a lot too, right? After the morning routine of actually getting into the day. And so
I like getting yelled at. That's awesome.
I do. Scream at me, get me going, get me in the zone. And his words are so powerful. It's about life. It's about business, God,
purpose.
Yeah. And it's just, it gets you feeling unstoppable. Just like you were listening to this podcast, you clicked it because you need motivation. I rely on other people for that motivation.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it too, like think about these highly successful basketball teams or football teams. They have a coach on them. This is kind of a hard left here, but I was just talking with someone this weekend about the different birth stories I have. And I like to be yelled at too. If it's gonna like
coach me through it.
So like the first time I gave birth, the midwife was like, what's holding you back? Holding me back? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. But then the second time I gave birth, I had a nurse that was like, when you feel that pain, you push against that pain. You push against that pain, you get that baby out. And I was like, yes. And it went like twice as fast because she was giving me some direction, some energy. It was like you said, contagious. It made me feel like I knew what I was doing. It gave me like the fire that I didn't have before, right? And so again, it's outside yourself. Do you like to be yelled at? Do you like to have someone speak nicely to you? Maybe it's a soft podcast. Maybe it's a hip hop preacher. You know, who can give you direction when you need it outside of yourself?
Yeah. And like, we know this about ourselves because we've been mindful about it. We have built a toolkit of things that motivate us for when the morning comes when I'm like, I can't. I know that I can just go on my phone and click a video and it'll help. You know, things that you don't have to really think about it. You can just fall back on. And that leads me to my next one. This is kind of cliche and funny and silly, but it's my living the dream spreadsheet. And it's like my life's spreadsheet. And every Sunday when I plan my week, I work out of this. And so in it has my goals for the year, why I'm doing it, my purpose, all of the things that each week I want to be reminded of what lights me up and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so when it comes to motivation, it's your why. You know, why am I taking care of my body? Why am I planning my workouts? Why am I getting up at 5 a.m.? Why am I building a business that's a shit ton of work? It's because of all of these things. And having that in front of me to see is a reminder of like, oh yeah, okay, this is why I'm doing it. It gets me in offense with my time versus defense. And so I can just keep that momentum going. And doing it on a Sunday, there's something so rejuvenating about planning your week before it's come. Before you're in the nitty-gritty, the busyness of it. You got your tea, or like yesterday, Ian was watching TV and I'm just like on my laptop, just planning my week. I'm not working out at that time, but I'm scheduling it in. And you just feel like you are taking ownership of your life. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Every episode of Ivy Unleashed is dedicated to empowering you to take ownership of your health. And what it really comes down to is prioritizing your mental health.
We've both seen the beauty and growth that therapy can bring and are thrilled to partner with BetterHelp to allow you the opportunity to feel heard and seen by a professional. The National Alliance on Mental Health reports that 155 million people live in a designated mental health professional shortage area, and BetterHelp is working to close that gap.
I've personally used BetterHelp and loved it because it was all online, making it super convenient. The biggest piece for me was how affordable it is. I was able to choose the therapist that met my needs. I came in with wanting to work on childhood trauma and anxiety, and it was unbelievable to see how many options I had with all the different backgrounds of therapists.
With BetterHelp, you have access to a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness. And sometimes we can't see our own patterns and behaviors until we talk them out and get an unbiased perspective.
It's really nice to have someone who doesn't know you and has the professional background to help you thrive in your daily life. It has made the world of a difference with every relationship in my life, including the one with myself.
To get started, all you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire about your needs and preferences and choose your therapist out of the options they give you. You can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. Also, you can switch therapists at no additional charge until you find the right fit for you.
The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/goldivy. That's betterhelp.com/goldivy.
Take the first step to inner peace and freedom today. Brooke, what do you think everyone wants more of?
Energy.
What do you think most people are hoping to come out of 2023 with?
Feel more confident, be an example for others, actually have the self-discipline to take care of themselves.
Yes, exactly. Because we hear the need for it and we want to help you get in the best shape of your life, we created Move with GOLDIVY, our virtual workout platform.
Our dream has been to create accessible, affordable, and effective workouts that you can do anytime, anywhere, designed to hold you accountable and get you the results you need.
You can pick any workout you want at any time, but if you do want a plan that alternates muscle groups and leaves your body feeling energized and strong, we have a weekly plan that you can follow to take the guesswork out.
It's easy to navigate and packed with all kinds of workouts that will help you strengthen, trim, pump up, tone, energize, de-stress, all of the things we want our body to feel. It's within Move.
Don't forget to mention the resources we offer. As a member of Move with GOLDIVY, you'll be a part of our exclusive Ivy League community, where we share our top wellness resources on things like meal planning, gut health hacks, time management, and more.
And because you listen to the Ivy Unleashed podcast, we want to offer you all of this for only $20 a month, cheaper than any monthly membership you'll find.
Not only that, you'll get a free trial week to test it out.
And if you need more incentive to start prioritizing you, here's our favorite part. Your movement matters. Each month, 10% of your membership will be donated to support the mental health of those in need.
So head on over to goldivyhealthco.com/move or find the link within the show notes of this episode and sign up today. Stop putting yourself in the back burner. Snag your spot and reap the benefits that you deserve to feel this year.
It's your time. Move for your health, move for your confidence, move for your mental clarity, move with GOLDIVY.
And now back to the show. It's hard to have motivation when you feel like you're behind. So like you're just taking a little bit of time to get ahead. So you feel like, well, of course I can do this, you know? And I would challenge you with that I can't, to just take that out of your vocabulary. It's not allowed in this house. Because when you say that, you believe it. And every part of your body feels like, I can't. Oh, it's so defeating. And to even think about saying that, it's so tough. And sometimes we feel that way. But I would just encourage you to like never speak that. I can't, right? It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to feel like you can't. Just saying that, every time my kids say it, I just see their whole body like slumps over or whatever. And it sounds like this would kind of combat that thought. But one of the things that motivates me is deciding like how I don't want to feel. When you're feeling like, God, I'm so out of shape, or, oh, I can't even fit in my pants, or, oh, my house is a mess. Use that for motivation. Use that because you do not want to feel that way. You do not want your pants to be that tight. You do not want your kitchen looking that way. So deciding, I don't want to feel this way anymore. So what can I do to shift this? I don't want to be looking at this mess. So what's the next decision? Is it asking for help? Is it coming up with a plan? Is it talking with someone? Is it writing down your goals for the week so that you move away from that thing? Sometimes just knowing what you don't want can also give you the momentum or the motivation to figure out what you do want.
Yeah, I love what you said. What's the next decision? I feel like when we're so overwhelmed, that is like the number one thing that depletes our energy and our motivation. It's like, whoa, that is way too much.
You're
the brain's like
stuck.
Yes.
The worst.
And so if you can have that go-to thought when you're feeling that, when you feel that in your body of overwhelm of, okay, what's the next thing? What do I want? What's the next thing that's going to help me achieve that?
Yeah. And you can even feel like this heaviness of like, oh, I don't want to feel this way when you are exercising. Lately, I've been getting back into running after having to take a month off because I had what is it called? Hematoma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't even like move my arm, which sounds weird with running, but like it was really painful. And I was afraid my arm was going to explode. It was weird. It looked terrible too. But I just like, while I've been running, I'm like, I don't want to feel this out of shape. So I need to do this more often. So even sometimes when you do get yourself to exercise, it feels so shitty in the moment because you are out of shape. But then deciding like, I don't want to feel this out of shape anymore will give you the motivation to, okay, when am I going to do this tomorrow? Even if it's 15 minutes, let's fit in a quick hit workout so that it builds my stamina because I do not want to feel this out of shape anymore.
Yeah, I love that. And that makes me think too of rest, which is one of mine. When we are exhausted and completely depleted, of course you're not going to be motivated. Your body is screaming for rest. And this is something that I feel like I'm still learning, that rest is productive. But specifically my habits, I feel like around rest really help with motivation. So not scrolling. Scrolling social media completely depletes me. And so I've gotten a lot better with boundaries of, okay, at 8:00, I'm not on my phone. Like I've been on my phone all day. I don't want it. And now it's even gotten into the morning of, okay, I'm going to turn my do not disturb on later. And I'm not going to scroll. If I'm going to pick up my phone, it's going to be to play music, to play an audiobook, to listen to the Eric Thomas hip hop preacher. I have the specific 3 people that messages can come through, but I don't want to be giving my energy away. And so those boundaries around social media are everything. And reading instead, or like spending time now with Ian that he's living with me, actually having that quality of time, those things that are energy givers and not energy takers, and knowing specifically what those are.
Yeah, and I just want to point out too with the scrolling is that these algorithms, right? If you are watching a video and then you let the next YouTube one automatically come up, you are not choosing what thoughts, energy is entering your brain. And so I really like that intentionality of, okay, I want to be more motivated. What voices am I going to allow to populate into my brain? This one brain you have, it is so molded by what we consume. And so really thinking about, okay, I can't just go through the feed on TikTok because who knows what's going to come at me, right? Like I'm going to intentionally choose a few people that do motivate me. When I am feeling low, oh, I love watching this person dance, or I love the way this person gives health tips, or they're so funny. I want to, lift up my mood with this person because I feel like it feels mindless and it feels like you're relaxing, but you're really confusing your brain with opinions and ideas and energy that you might not actually want.
Yeah, and those dopamine spikes make it so hard to stop. So if you don't have those guardrails around, you're going to be scrolling for 3 hours. If you want to start exercising, if you want to go to bed earlier, those things make you feel good. I would invite you to think about how you're spending your time. Is it on social media? Could you be using your time in a better way? And this isn't to say it's easy, but it's become a habit. Like I have alarms go off on my phone that say, hey, it's wind down time. I've built these systems in place to help me out. And another thing that comes to mind is meditation. Like that for me is rest. In the morning, it's meditating. I've been listening to, shout out Kelsey Aida, her finance, abundance, money mindset meditation that I love. And it just has you vision your future and what you're doing that's fun and fulfilling and making you money. And it's amazing. And that I feel like is just a deep restore in the morning and gets me excited for my day because I'm visioning what I want. And then at like mid-afternoon when I feel like an afternoon slump, I've been listening to Andrew Huberman. He has a non-sleep deep rest meditation. So NDSR, that is so good. And so that, instead of like pumping the caffeine, I've been listening to that, and studies show that makes you feel
like you're getting a nap without the effects of like feeling exhausted after you take a nap.
I'm just looking up Kelsey Aida's episode. So that was episode 138. So you can go back and listen to her manifesting episode, but then also in the show notes is the meditation that Brooke brought up because it is really good. And her voice.
It's so soothing. It's such a great way to start the day.
Yes.
And so I love that. So when I think of rest, I think about sleep, but I also think about like boundaries with my time, and I think about meditation, and I think about like, what am I actually doing where I'm not completely stimulated and I can calm my nervous system.
Yeah, a lot of these influences are kind of outside of ourselves, which I think is important to know. Like, it's not, like I said before, it's not all on you. And a big part that we know from coaching and just like finding motivation is if you tell someone what you want to do, and it doesn't even have to be something big. It doesn't have to be like, I'm going to tell someone I'm going to run a marathon. It's literally like, I'm going to tell someone I'm going to get outside for a walk tomorrow. Because when you do that, you want, like, you're probably telling someone you love and you want to impress them, or you don't want to disappoint them or whatever. And it works. Like, that's why coaching, that's why people pay us to be their coaches. It's like, we're not going to tell you most of the time something you don't know. It's more like, they're going to hold me accountable. They're going to be calling me, and I do not want to lie to them, and I don't want to let them down. And so you need some motivation. Sometimes find the person that you know would be a good cheerleader and that would follow through and ask you, not someone that'd be like, oh, I don't want to make you feel bad. No, like someone's like, hey, you said this was important. Did you do it? It's that simple. So accountability is huge. And then my other form of accountability, it's another motivator for me, is like your own. So you have this thought, you have something you know you want to do, you know you want to be motivated to do it. You've got to keep it visible. What is it? Write it down and put it on your whiteboard. Put it on a Post-it. Write it on your mirror in the bathroom. Something that you know you've been dying to fit into your routine, and you know it's not that hard, but you keep not doing it. Write it everywhere. Like, put a Post-it everywhere until you follow through, and then you can take them down. But that accountability too of, man, I took the time to write this down and I have it blasted all over my house. It's clearly important. Let's just like make it happen so these Post-its can go away.
Yeah. Well, and if you aren't doing it, that's just like a bang to your confidence. And that sucks. That doesn't feel good. But when you keep seeing and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to do one thing today to get me closer to it. One thing. Okay. Yep. I said that's important to me. What do I need to do? Just keeping it top of mind. And whether that is, to your point, with a coach, or also like, I think of exercise. I had a client today who she's talking about how she loves going to soccer because it's social and she loves the socialness, but she can't figure out how to implement strength training. And through coaching and working with her, she's like, oh, I'm about to get 4 roommates. They said they want to work out. I should just go to the gym with them. I'm just going to ask them. That's going to be my first step. And she's like lighting up as she's talking to him. Like, yes, because you know that you love being social. And this is your form of accountability, is doing it with someone. So accountability can look so different in so many different ways, but it's huge.
Yeah.
It's everything.
When I keep thinking too about like what we struggle to get motivated to do is usually something kind of foreign. It's something we want. We definitely want it. We're thinking about it. We want to be more fit. We want to look better. We want to eat better. Or we want to fill in the blank. But it's kind of a foreign thing. And so a lot of times we resist writing it down. We resist telling someone because we don't know if we can follow through because we never have before. I was just talking with a family member when I was just in Wisconsin over the weekend, and she was saying like, I've never felt confident in my skin. Not a day has gone by that I've like felt fully confident, which like broke my heart. But it's like, that's an inside job. No one can validate you enough to build that up. And so these little tips that we're giving you are like gonna help you with that thing that you know you want to feel. She wants to feel more confident than anything because it's so foreign to her, right? And so I'd encourage you to think about, what's that thing that I know I want? It feels foreign, because that's a thing that's tough to get motivation to move towards, because it's so, it just feels just out of your reach. But it's not. Like, literally, you can teach yourself to do anything, to become anything you want. It's just a matter of setting up your world in a way that can move you towards it. It doesn't have to be that challenging. And that's my last piece of motivation, is like, sometimes stop thinking. Just do it. Like Nike. Our brains can come up with a million reasons to stay away from that uncomfortable new thing. That's what the brain does. It's like, nope, I do want that, but no, that would be
safe. I
would never try that on. That is so weird. Or I would never sign up for that race or whatever. But it's like, you want it. Don't think about it. Just sign up for it. You know, don't think about it. Just have that coaching call and see what it could be for you, or see what it can unlock for you. I think we overthink all the time.
Yeah. Okay, my last one, this teasing up good. My last one has to do with helping with momentum and confidence. And it's a tool that I've been using recently. And when I stick to it, oh man, I'm on fire.
Oh my God,
and it's all about prioritizing. Because when you prioritize it and you think ahead of time, so for me, it's the night before, I prioritize, it's called the Ivy Lee method. And so I prioritize top 6 things I need to get done for the day. So I'm planning out my day. So when it gets to that day, I don't have to think. I've already thought and I just do. But you can't move on until the next thing until you finish the first thing, which for the longest time, I have my to-do list. That's 1,000,000 miles long. And then I just, the easiest ones. It's like eating the frog. You do the hardest one first, but you can't move on until you do that one. So
I need to do this.
I do business and then I do personal. And I have my specific business working hours because I'm notorious for, okay, I'm on the clock 9 to 4, but I'm sprinkling in home projects and, laundry and whatever. And then you're just scattering. You're multitasking and you're not, it's not productive. I hate to break it to you. So what you're going to do is either the morning of or the night before, you think about, okay, what are the top 6 things that are the needle movers that I have to get done? And you list them by priority, by importance. And then you knock it off. And I am amazed at just how much more clarity I have when I knock it off the first one, then I get some momentum, I get the energy, and it takes me probably like half the time that it would take if I was just jumbling, bopping around.
You could probably just start with like 3 too. Like
yes.
You could build up to 6 or whatever.
Yeah. So try it, report back, let me know what you think.
I need to
sound off in the comments if you've heard of this.
Sound off.
Because I am obsessed and I hope that you implement it and find it helpful too. Because I know I've tried it before, but starting this week, I'm like, no, I am going to stick to it. Because again, it gives me the motivation, it gives me the momentum, and I want to feel more like this.
Yeah. And I'm so happy that you tuned into this episode because these are the type of episodes that can transform your life, right? And we will keep popping in here to say the things that we're trying, what's changed, what's different, but ultimately what gets us moving, what gets us that momentum that we know that we need to have the energy we want, because we want to be vibrant people. We don't want to be just coasting through life. Right? We do want to relax. We do want to rest. Yes. But it's like I said, it's kind of pulling back the slingshot to propel you forward. And sometimes you have to think about it that way is like, yeah, we talk about things to get it going, but it's also resting. It's also incorporating your circle of people to help support you. It doesn't all have to be go, go, go all the time. It's kind of that planning and resting and support too, along with like what gets
it's like perfecting the mundane. Being extraordinary at the ordinary things. Exercising once a week, planning my week, meal prepping, talking to my people, thinking like all of this is not sexy, but it makes me feel at peace. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel like I can achieve the things that I want to achieve in this life. And so not discrediting that it doesn't have to be like this big sexy thing. It can be these small things that you are doing each and every day.
All right, we're going to leave you with 3 gold stars, and then you can leave us a review of what you thought of this episode, please, and thank you. The first gold star is make a list of the things that motivate you. What are your energy givers and energy takers?
Next, audit your time and schedule more energy givers into your schedule.
And 3, choose one habit you want to prioritize this week and tell someone that cares about you that can hold you accountable to it.
All right, and your piece of gold this week comes from Zig Ziglar. He says, you were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win.
This is GOLDIVY signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold. We want to thank you and encourage you to celebrate yourself for taking the time to learn and get inspired in your one beautiful life. And if this podcast means something to you, it would mean so much to us if you'd be willing to take 30 seconds to help support our mission to keep bringing you inspiring stories and guests.
First, following the podcast is important because it helps you never miss an episode. To do this, just go to the Ivy Unleashed podcast show page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow.
While you're there, if you'd be so kind to give us a 5-star rating and review and share your favorite episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful for your support.
We are thrilled you're here and are so happy that you're taking time to prioritize your wellness, self-discovery, and growth with us.
The Ivy Unleashed podcast is produced in partnership with J. Gray Podcast Production.